guys, welcome. Okay, just sharing to some groups. Okay, let me just, there you go. Oh, crazy here. Yay. Let me see what you guys are saying. Hello, good morning. Yvonne's busy working next door on packages. I'm getting a lot of emails from you guys saying, I didn't get my invoice. I didn't get my invoice. That's because you didn't get your invoice. So don't be alarmed if you didn't get your invoice. Remember, I said it's going to be 2 weeks. 2 weeks, okay? And also, the invoices are not itemized. It will take us way too long to itemize all this stuff. And the reason there's no invoices is because I've had to get my taxes done, and it is completely insane. We've been working the past 3 nights, and I have not gotten to bed till like 4 in the morning because I'm working on the taxes. And when it comes to taxes, you guys do your personal taxes, which is super easy. You sit in front of the computer, you have your account, and it takes maybe 2 hours. No, 1 month of revenue and expenses takes about between 2 to 3 hours to get done, to get it all input into the computer. So it's been taking us a long time to get all this done for my tax. And the reason I got an extension is because of the car accident, obviously. So we have to get those done, plus get the invoices. Plus, I'm also editing for TV shows, not only mine, but several other ones that I'm help producing. So I've been doing that. So when I'm not doing the taxes, I'm either doing invoices or I'm editing video for the network. So, okay, so that's a little crazy right now. So yes, if you haven't got your invoice, it's because you haven't gotten your invoice. Remember guys, when I said that when you see that we didn't check the email, it means we haven't gotten to you yet. So don't worry, all your baskets are safe here. We just have to have the time to inbox you guys because there is a lot of inventory here. I mean, I'm looking at it and it's all sprawled around this room, okay? So yes, business taxes do extremely suck. I hate it with a passion. So I'm gonna go to your questions here. And I think there's at least 2 posts full. So I'm gonna go to the first one. You see it's kind of down there, I guess. Scrolling through. Some crazy stuff's been happening at my house. I just came in and told Yvonne what happened last night. It's been nuts. I don't know, did you guys see the video we posted of the shopping spree when Dell came in to communicate with his family? Did you guys check that video out? Okay. Who here saw that video? Yeah, Patty, the shop taxes are not like personal taxes. They take so much time. I'm gonna be honest, I think I threw my calculator like across the room probably about like 10 times because you're adding stuff up and like you have a stack of receipts like this big and you're adding it up and you miss like one number, you have to start all over again. And this is why it's taking so long. It's so time consuming. Well, no, Kristen, you wouldn't get a return call. There's a waiting list to get a reading, and I'm not ready to come back due to the car accident. I still have that concussion going. And yeah, it's a different story if I'm doing free readings on live because you're not consuming my time for an hour, hour and a half to 2 hours. That's time consuming and it takes a lot out of me. And I used to go from 6 readings a day, wham, bam, bam, to people coming in and it shouldn't be taking 3-4 hours for one reading and I'm only doing 2 readings a day. It's very draining. So And I know that's because the TV show's coming. People want to sit and talk to me. I understand that. But, you know, we're trying to do people's readings and trying to get them in and out, get their people connected, and that's it. The talking part should be for the live feeds, and that's the problem we're finding with the reading. So I started doing them online instead of people coming in because of that. So we can get more people scheduled in. But the reason people aren't getting scheduled in now is because of the car accident. My doctor has not cleared me to have people pay their good money for me to sit and do readings with them. So if you are on a waiting list, this is why. Okay. Terry, you watched it. That's good. Oh, Patty, you did. Gina, you guys liked it. It was pretty intense here. I wish I had cameras at my house. It was intense last night. Justin usually gets up to go to work around 2, and I didn't get to bed. I didn't actually lay down in bed until 1 because I was editing a video for my partner, my producer partner, for a network and for another show. And I just lay down and my phone goes flying across the room. I sit up, nobody comes forth. I'm like, okay, you're gonna play games. All right, grab my phone, put it back on. Phone goes again across the room. Like, knock it off. I need to get some sleep. Stop. So Justin gets up, goes to work, or gets up to go to the bathroom at 2:30 because he takes the dogs out at 2:30, and I just started passing out. Like, I just started falling asleep, and I hear on my door. I'm like, what the flip? And then I'm like, I'm coming. And then I heard, I'm like, oh my God. So I open the door. I go, what? Because I'm like, why is Justin knocking on the damn door? He comes out in the bathroom and goes, I go, what? He goes, yeah, I heard that too. I go, so you didn't knock on the door? He goes, no, why would I knock? I just come in. And then Eden, dead asleep, comes popping out and goes, are you guys knocking on my door? And then I go to lay down, and my headphones to my phone are drooped over into my water cup next to my bed. So we are dealing with a lot of activity, not at the shop, at my house as well. I can't sleep. It's a nightmare. It's constant. It's all the time. So that's my life right now. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay, Kristen, that's awesome. Yeah, I know Julie and Debbie. Yeah, everybody's on a waiting list. Nobody's name was taken off the waiting list. If you are on the waiting list, you're still on the waiting list. We will get to you. Just, you got to bear with me with coming back. Hi, Kathy. Welcome. Yeah, that video was pretty intense. Dale comment, just doing a shopping spree. Spirit comes forth. We got snapping. It was great. You guys got to check that video out. If you go on the YouTube channel, the Divine Medium, and you click the Dale video, we had a lot of activity, and it was pretty crazy. We got it documented live on Facebook. That was the cool part. So, yeah, Spirit's been just really acting up. I mean, me and Yvonne were trying to do my taxes in my living room, and somebody keeps running, pounding above us in the bedroom. It's like, just stop for a day. Just stop. So, yeah, Debbie, that was crazy. Like, I think I snapped twice, and he just shut out the front lights. And these are the front lights, guys. Those are the front lights. He just shut them out. It was intensely crazy. Like, shut down. It's like, okay, I guess we're done for the night. Hi, Gina, nobody came forth. I told Yvonne that. I said, I've been kind of talking all morning at the house, like, okay. Like, I was in the shower, and I could feel them in the shower, like, in the shower bathroom with me, like, pacing. Like, all right, I don't know who you belong to, but the only way I can get a message to them is if you start talking. So, you have to talk at some point. I'll be here when you're ready. I get that sometimes, where you have a spirit that just really acts up and then just won't tell you who they are. It takes them a little while to, like, feel safe enough to talk to you. So, let's see. Let's go to some questions here. Oh my gosh. Joanna says, okay, time to start thinking of annoying questions. She loves throwing me questions. Okay, Melissa Kirby asks, I have a couple questions about seraph and angels. What is their role? Are they a different type of angel? Also, is there lower level galactic energy, or is it all universal love? By lower energy, I'm thinking energy that does not contribute to a higher vibration, like a light side and a dark side of the force. It's funny she says dark side and light side of the force, because yes, I mean, Star Trek, Star Wars, all these movies. Now you have the Avengers, not so much the Avengers, but I'm trying to think of the one movie, Galaxy, Guardians of the Galaxy. These movies didn't just pop out of nowhere. They're being downloaded, and it's for a reason, because galactically we are coming into a contract of friendship where galactic beings are going to start. Well, they've already started. I'm one of them. I'm here. Hi, how you doing? To you newbies. We can't infiltrate Earth, so a lot of us come through the body. Did you ever meet, I'll give you an example. Did you ever meet somebody that almost came off robotic? You kind of thought they were rude. Maybe they didn't move out of the way, and they have no emotion, no feeling to them. That's going to be a gray being, the gray ones. We call them the gray ones. They don't really understand emotion, so they come off robotic and rude, when really that's not what they're trying to do. They just are experiencing and learning from here, and they don't express themselves in any way. So yes, there's a lot of us that came through the body to kind of raise the vibration, because you can't just infiltrate and show up unannounced, because it would just cause rioting and chaos and all this stuff. So but it is going to eventually happen, and the reason the movies are happening, like Guardians of the Galaxy, Star Wars, Star Trek, is to kind of get humanity slowly integrated, that if a being would show up, they'd go, oh hey, that's the dude from Guardians of the Galaxy. They look the same. Okay, so they're trying to get humanity conformed and ready for when they arrive, which is going to be very, very, very soon. I'm originally from California. That's the place of my origin. But when Melissa Kirby talks about seraph and angels, what is their role? They're just like the regular angels. They just have a different job. They're more of protection and messaging. So you have your messengers, you have your protectors, and then you have your protective messengers. And you have your healers and, different angels. Now remember, angels do not guide you in any way. Your guides guide you. You assign them to you to guide you. And hold on real quick. Okay. So angels are here to intervene and protect, and your guides simply guide. They tell you, they give you that pull to say, okay, go this way, go that way, go this way, go that way. And I saw that, Rebecca, yeah. They're the ones guiding you every day. Those are your spirit guides. Your angels do not do this. They don't assist you in this way. They pretty much just keep you safe in a little bubble until you're ready to cross over. And then they'll be there for when you're ready to cross. And then you have your loved ones. They simply just support you. They're your like cheerleaders. Like, you can do this, keep going. But you can't ask them to assist or help you in any way, because that's your guide's job. And they can't protect you because that's your angel's job, okay? Let's see. Okay, so yes, there is different energies. And it's not so much galactic, it's just there's lower energy to learn from and there's higher energy to learn from. And the soul incarnating a body, and some places don't even have bodies. When I came back in 2009 from the car accident, I came back with all this knowledge. I didn't have the veil attached to me. I'm able to tell you these things because it's not, when you guys think of these things, you're remembering. You're not like, oh, I suddenly know this. No, you're remembering these things, okay? Because you were there. You're pushing through the veil and you're remembering. It's not like a sudden thing, like you just suddenly knew it. You've just always known it, okay? And that's what I'm here to do, is to kind of help you guys push past the veil to remember these things. And when I talk about portals and different planets, and some places don't have bodies, some don't have food, some don't have free will, some don't have governing, some don't have politics or any kind of religion. And when I talk about these things and you say, oh my gosh, I knew that, that's because you're remembering, okay? Paula, it's unheard of for a simple angel soul to take over a body. What we have now is what's called a hybrid. You have an angel and an alien formation conforming to be able to come through a body and to live out a life. Angels don't normally leave heaven. They are non-karmatic souls, so they're not made of soul material. When God created souls, angels were made a different way, so they don't take on an energy in a way we do. They're more of obedience, whereas we have free will and we're learning, whereas they are following and abiding by rules, okay, that God has set forth. So they're learning in a different, they're not actually really learning. We're learning as souls, and that's what God wanted us to do as souls, was to grow and learn why he did all this. Why does he love us? He didn't want to just tell us, he wanted us to show us. Like let me explain something. When you're reading a book, okay, and you're like, oh, you kind of feel like you're part of the book or you're part of the story. It's not until you go into the story that you're actually getting it. You're actually experiencing it. Has anybody watched Outlander? If anybody watched Outlander on net, I think it's on Netflix or Hulu, one of the two. She goes into this rock and it takes her into a different time. Now, if she would, and they talk about history within this show, and you read about history, like slavery, things like that. It's not until you jump into that, you're actually dealing with it and experiencing it for yourself, that you're actually learning. You can't learn anything from this. It's not until you get into the story that you're actually learning. And that's why people take on lives. And you don't have to pick a human life. You can pick any kind of life. The soul can learn from a flower. It can learn from a star in space. It can learn from an asteroid. Whatever the soul wants to learn from, it's going to conform to that knowledge and learn from it and grow from it in that way. Heather Reed, I would suggest the free meditation on my website, thedivinemedium.com, where I walk you. Now, see, nobody should be telling you anything about your guides, because here's the thing. Who's to say that they're not picking up something from their guides, okay? So you want to be careful with people implanting information. You want to be super careful with that. So I was shown how to make the meditation. It's free for you guys to go and watch, and I give you instructions on, keep your mind open, don't overthink, just let the meditation guide you right to your guides. And basically what I'm just basically doing is just walking you to them. And I'm not doing anything else. Everything they show you is them showing it to you. So don't doubt yourself. Just let it happen. Let me see what you guys are saying. Moeva, when it comes to deja vu, what you have is a path that you're repeating, and until the deja vu stops, you've picked another choice to learn from. If you're having deja vu and it keeps happening and keeps happening, it's because you're repeating the same thing that you did before and you're not learning. So you have to figure out, let's say for example, you have somebody that is suicidal, and you suddenly are in deja vu with them, and it keeps repeating, you keep having these deja vu. In that past life, they most likely were able to commit suicide. And in this life, the deja vu is telling you that you can assist them better to not do that, okay? So the deja vu is kind of like a red flag, like, you're repeating, let's change it up. And I've never had that until recently with the shop, and I noticed that we were repeating from a past life, and I gotta change that. So we've been doing that. Okay. Rebecca, it's really up to you as a soul to push through the veil. It's meditating, it's listening to your guides, listening. Like, I'll give you an example with the listening, and I've given this example many, many times. I was getting food after work, and I kept hearing in my mind from my guide Maria telling me to put the food on the floor. But instead I had it on my seat, and I was too tired and lazy, obviously, to put it on the floor. So I just started driving. I'm like, I'm only 5 minutes from home. It's not a big deal. Well, she was right, because a car came flying out. I had to slam on my brakes, and the food went up towards my dash. This is what I mean by listening. They're talking to you all day long. You are not having conversations with yourself. You are having conversations with your guides. They use your voice to talk to you, okay? You're not just rambling on with yourself. They use your voice because if they would use their voice, you'd think you're going schizophrenic. And I give this example all the time to my followers that know how I teach, but to you newbies that are here, this is what this means, okay? No, Pamela, you're not crazy. Paige, some days a person can have anxiety and then be fine. Other times, like, you have really bad anxiety some days and some days you don't. And that means that two things. Either you're gifted and you're feeling spirit come around you, and spirit's not always going to come around. Some days are going to be bad and some days aren't. Or you're around too many people and you're absorbing too much energy, and it's making your energy just kind of crazy. Now you have to kind of check your calendar. Now, if you're doing a high energy anxiety during retrograde, it's retrograde causing the uproar. But if it's just a regular day, it's either you're around too many people and you need to digress and just go do something fun for yourself, or it's spirit coming around you. So if you're not around a lot of people, then it's spirit trying to come around and communicate and be around you and talk, okay? They're popping off your equilibrium and kind of making you crazy. Johanna, sitting at the dentist waiting for my turn. I know I'm probably way back with your questions. Sharon, yes, that's what Eden is doing. She's a hybrid. She talks about this on several occasions. Scott, no. Souls do not suddenly become angels. Angels were created in a different spiritual matter than humans were. They were totally made separate. A human cannot suddenly become an angel. No, that doesn't happen. Okay, let me... Do you want to hear something funny? In my past life with Outlander, I caught this. My Scottish heritage from Scotland, because you guys know who I am in my past life for Scotland, was the Fraser clan. Isn't that crazy? I was so drawn to that movie, and I was like, that's wild. Norman Watts, which weird, same last name. If you call the shop, you can get scheduled in with a reading with me. You'll get put on the waiting list, and once I'm ready to come back, we will get you in, okay? And the information is actually at the top of this post. It has the phone number to the shop and how you guys can get scheduled in, okay? Yes, thank you, Rebecca. The meditation to meet your guides is called The Journey. And you can get it off the website, thedivinemedium.com. Sorry guys, my thing is like moving. Cordy, yes, Eden, my daughter, does meet your angels reading. It's very different from the spirit guide. Spirit guides guide you on your soul contract, and what Eden's doing is just introducing you to your angels who play important roles in your life. Because she's connected to the angels, and she can tell you everything about them. It's crazy wild how she knows this knowledge. I know some of it, but not to the great detail she does. It's kind of cool. But with your spirit guides, that's different. They're guiding you, so I'm able to get you answers for your life with those types of readings. Hold on, guys, I'm just... Lisa, with repeating hurting from relationships with men, this is going to stop when you're ready to stop learning from it. It's going to take you to stop learning from it. Let me give you an example. Let's say there's a kid that goes to college. He's straight A student. He just starts at college. He's going to go to be a doctor, very smart. But then he starts hanging out with a group of people. And this group of people is learning from lower energy. And he thinks it's kind of cool to hang out with them. They start getting into drugs and his grades are starting to decline, and he's going through this whole motion of learning from this lower energy. And then one day he wakes up and goes, what the heck am I doing with my life? I was doing so good. And then his outlook changes, and he starts going back to studying, and he starts doing better. This is a soul taking on a responsibility of saying, okay, I've had enough learning this way. And when you change your perspective, you're pushing it out, and you'll start to see that these kind of energies start going away because you're pushing out a different perspective. And when you do that, you're pulling something else in. You're pulling in better men or somebody that's better suited for you. Okay, so it's your perspective, it's what you're pushing out that's coming to you, and you keep accepting it until you're ready to say, no, I don't want to accept it, I want something different. That's when things will change. Johanna, I don't know if I answered your question. Joanna, yes, kids with autism are more gifted. This is what's called the third wave of volunteers. I came in on the second wave. These kids that are getting misdiagnosed for ADHD, and actually counselors and doctors are starting to come around. I mean, I even had a call from somebody that said that their kid was going to a doctor for, I can't remember what reason, and the doctor said, your child's gifted. So they're starting to see that it's not just ADHD. You can't just chuck it up to an ailment and start throwing pills at them. These kids are very high vibrational because they're pushing us into this new realm of understanding love and appreciation for Earth and what it does for us, and to get us to stop, doing bad things to it, like, gasoline, just things in general that we shouldn't be doing to ruining it. And that's why they're here, especially animals. Oh, that's awesome, Sherry. Cool name. All right. Okay, now if it's spirit giving you anxiety, Lauren, you can use downing. Remember, guys, crystals, let me see if I can, let me grab my little thing here. Okay. That's more of a downer. Let me grab this one. Okay. You have uppers and downers. You got to think of crystals as medication. You have your downers that are dark, and you have your uppers that are light. Now you have dosages to them as well. So a clear quartz would be a low dose of maybe a 5 milligram to a 10 milligram. And then you move it up to an opal, and that's a 20 milligram or a 30 milligram. So this is your basics. Your opal is a step up. So when you start suddenly like losing your crystals, or they go missing or they break, your crystal's saying your vibration is too high, your octave is higher than mine, and I can no longer assist you. It's time for you to one-up it. So then you start looking at different crystals, okay? These are your downers, and these are your uppers, okay? So downers are gonna bring you down and bring your energy down, where uppers are gonna go skyrocket it, okay? So if you're trying to connect to your guides and things like this, you wanna go for uppers. If you're trying to ground your energy and, you know, stop feeling sick, having anxiety, you wanna use your downers, okay? Now with stomach issues, you're gonna wanna go for like the sacral, okay? And the solar plexus stones to kind of keep your stomach in fluctuation for healthy foods and digestion, okay? Put that back. All right. Linda, I'm not here to be a doctor. I don't agree, my own opinion, I don't agree with vaccinations. I feel like they put things into them that don't belong in people's systems. Whereas some medications do help because they are God's plants. He put them here for us to, you know, use. Same thing with crystals. They're here to assist us with our physical health and our mental health and our spiritual health. So you really have to use your own intuition and compass and listening to your guides on if this path is right for you to learn from. You're the one learning it, no one else. So if you choose a path, you're the one learning it. No one can make that decision for you. Nobody can make your feet go, okay? Monique, what did you want to know about walk-ins? Alton, when it comes to negative spirits, you want to use black tourmaline. Yes, you can use salt in front of your doors and windows. I do it at the shop, I do it at my house, but I also keep a lot of black tourmaline and angelite. I put angelite by the windows, and what you'll notice if you have angelite in the windows, if the crystal goes from a bright blue, a pretty bright blue, and it goes from a gray to a dingy dark color, that means a lot of dark energy is trying to get in, and that crystal's keeping it from coming in, so it's absorbing it, okay? But your go-to is going to want to be cedar sage and black tourmaline, okay? That's going to keep the energy from being so negative. And rose quartz is good too to kind of keep love going. Loretta, the energy right now, I'm going to tell you guys, up until Thursday, I wouldn't get into too many conversations with people. There's a trigger right now to cause arguments. So if you guys are arguing with people, shut it down, take a step back, and wait till the energy kind of dies down, which will be right around Thursday to Friday. Maria's saying more Friday. So arguments are very triggered right now. Attitudes, rudeness. So I told Yvonne, we should just stay in the house that week. Don't even leave the house that week. It kind of started last week, so if you started noticing you're getting into these weird arguments, and they're high intense arguments for no reason, take a step back and give it a little time to settle, okay? And don't come back until the energy's kind of died down, okay? This is why you're having stress, anxiety, things like this. Rosemary, yes, come see me. Carol, you can have as many guardian angels, they're not guardian angels, they're angels. Guardian angels, people tend to miscommunicate that with your guides. Your guides are the ones that are guarding and guiding you. Your angels are protecting and intervening. So you can have as many as your soul contract entails, okay? Eva, you're thinking more of a personal reading. You're going to want to call the shop for that and get on the list to get a reading done. And if you want to know how I do my readings, I have done many live on Facebook. So you can actually see how a reading is done unedited live on Facebook. You can go to the YouTube channel, The Divine Medium, and watch any of those readings being done. Tia, I'm going to tell you right now, yes. See, guys, honest to God, if I were to pull this little curtain back, your loved one is right there. Heaven is not up, heaven is not down. It is literally right there. That's how close they are. They didn't leave you. The body left. The body was created here. It stays here. It doesn't go across. Your soul crosses, and it's just literally crossing a little curtain where you can't see them, okay? So yes, he would be there. Okay, I'm gonna scroll down because there's a lot of comments. Donna, piggybacking, this happens with readings, this happens with many things. I'm a walk-in that piggybacked pretty much. Piggyback means you are taking on the soul's life and you get so much data. Like I don't have a whole lot of memories from her childhood up until maybe mid-adult. I do have a lot of memories of Eden growing up, but anything before that, like childhood, high school, anything like that, I don't really have too many memories. There's only enough memories to contain the life continuing, okay? So that doesn't seem like there's something out of a miss. But with a walk-in, you do see a lot of differences. Maybe somebody that you know suddenly likes classical music and they were into heavy metal before, or they used to hate the color orange and now they love it, or maybe they hated strawberries and now that's all they eat. You'll start to see these sudden changes in them and they kind of change a little bit. That's a walk-in, and they're piggybacking off the life that they're coming into, okay? And the reason walk-ins happen is because the soul before that didn't want to stay for a very long period, and they didn't want to waste the body, so another soul came in to carry out the life and do other things, amazing things with it that maybe the soul before them couldn't. Remember, guys, if you guys are ever getting a reading with me, don't ever tell me things. Like, don't come to me and say he had a brain tumor, Elizabeth. So if you ever get a reading with me, don't jump ahead and tell me things. You want to wait till your loved one gives me that and then go from there, okay? Sharon. Oh, that's awesome, Yvonne. Yes, Marlene, it is. And I'm going to post actually that happened to me last night when I was talking about them knocking and my earbuds were my thing. I went to pull the earbuds out and my phone started playing hello. It's me, how are you? On the other side, calling from the other side. I was just like, really? Yeah, okay. And then my phone just went to the internet and it said 5G. Which meant the fifth dimension. So I'm like, okay, I know you're from, like, they're communicating, but they're not telling me everything that I need to know. They're using like electronics and things like, and energy to pull through last night. And I'm like, yeah, I know, you crossed over, I'm not dumb. Like, this is what I do for a living, I got it. Hello. Now do you want to tell me who you are? And they're like, fifth dimension. Yeah, I get that, you're at the fifth dimension. Okay, we got this, come on, let's move on. It's funny how spirit works, it's hysterical, it makes me laugh. Last night I was not laughing because I was extremely tired, but when I woke up and told Yvonne the story, I was laughing my ass off. So, Clara, you do have guides and angels that are with you even before birth, because you're standing in heaven doing your soul contract. You're coming up with all the things you want to learn, what paths you want to take, you know, which avenues you want to learn, who do you want to learn from. So your guides and angels know all this before you decide to even come in. And it's not about upgrading to new ones. Your main guide is always with you, like Maria's always been with me. But you're going to have other guides come in when you're doing something different. So let's say, for example, you suddenly get into art or music, or maybe you're into a new relationship. Those certain guides are going to come forth. You're going to have your creative guide come forth, or you're going to have your love guide come forth, and they'll push forth, you know, a little further than they would rather be back when you're not doing these things, okay? Amanda, yes, when you think of your loved ones, it's actually not you doing this, it's them doing this. When you suddenly are doing dishes and suddenly you start getting like old memories, or you start thinking of them, this is them showing you that they're near you. They call it a spiritual invite. They're saying, listen, if something falls or something happens with the lights, don't freak out, it's just me, okay? Cassandra, retrograde just started happening. I think it was this, yeah, it's today actually. It just started. Probably over the weekend it just started. But it's really taking hold this week. So yeah, you're gonna feel like a little out of it, extremely tired. You're gonna feel very tired. You're gonna feel like on and off anxiety. Your electronics are gonna act a little whoopy. Spirit's gonna kick it up a notch because they know they can. Okay. Alton, no, guides are not evil spirits. No, not at all. And spirits are not evil either. Yeah, you have a spirit here that maybe did some bad things, but that doesn't make them an evil spirit when they cross over. When they cross over, they go through what's called the life review, and they review everything they did and what they were trying to understand from. What you basically have is a dark entity pretending to be a spirit. And no, they can't guide you. And if you're getting negative thoughts, that's a dark entity doing that. Your guides will never do that. Your guides will always be uplifting. They'll always give you choices, and they're never going to be negative, okay? Hi, Elizabeth Snow. Alton, you're going to want to go to the website. It depends on which session you want, because there's a ton of them. So if you go to the website and you click sessions, thedivinemedium.com, and you click sessions, you'll see which reading you desire. But here's the thing. You're going to want to call the shop to get scheduled. Don't buy the reading and then try to get scheduled. You're going to want to get scheduled first before you buy the reading, okay? Hi, Jill. I do not do video chat readings. I do what's called automatic writing, but it's automatic typing, and everything is typed out. You can print it out for your future records. And we also give examples on the website of how this works. So I have posted on the website, when you go to the reading, go through the pictures, and you can see how a reading is done on Messenger. It is like being in front of me. Remember, guys, you don't have to see me for Spirit to talk to you. Spirit goes where it's being called. I type everything out, and you're good, okay? Robin, you're gonna find that a lot of souls right now are being, how do I want to put this? Are being turned towards the dark aspect of this world. God, guides, Jesus, angels, they're all trying to awaken humanity to understanding that this is how it's always been, and dark is doing whatever it can to take the light workers and the galactic, I'm a galactic worker, and turn them back to religion, because that's how they controlled everyone here, was through religion. So they're taking them back to that mind frame so that they can continue being controlled. So if you have somebody that was teaching Reiki and they were, doing all these light work or helping people, dark doesn't want them helping people. So they're going to turn them right back to a religion where religion really isn't helping anybody. So if they're renouncing everything that, they've known and they know deep down is helping people with the light of God, that's dark putting them on that path. And I know a lot of people wanted me to talk about, Doreen Virtue, and I don't have anything to really say on the matter. This is now her new path. She's chosen it. She's going to learn from it. And for somebody to be of light working and not see past dark doing this, then she most likely was being overworked and is just feeling super tired of, because I'm overworked, but I will never turn my back on what I'm supposed to be doing. I was led to this path. I'm going to stay on this path. And you don't, just because you're overworked doesn't mean you just switch teams. You go to a retreat and regather yourself. And it doesn't matter how much money you're making. If you're overworked, you're overworked. Okay? So, I don't know why my little thing doesn't want to stay straight. Okay, Elizabeth Snow, you're feeling fearful of going to mediums and things of this nature because there's been such a negative connotation on them for centuries. Now, you do want to do your research, even on me. I tell this to people all the time. If you're not drawn to me, you're not drawn to me. If you are, you are. That's great. But you want to do your research. You want to go to somebody that you know you can trust. Couple things to look for. If they don't let you record or take notes or video record or anything like that, I would get away from them. Obviously, they're hiding something they don't want on camera, okay, or recorded. Don't mess with them. They start doing weird stuff in the middle. Like I had a girl come to me, said she went to somebody locally down that way, towards Wimber, that this lady went into convulsions and it freaked her out. She didn't want to go to a medium after that. And this doesn't happen. Mediums don't go to convulsions. I mean, they might get emotional or physical ailments, but they don't go into like an exorcist possession. Okay, it doesn't happen. That's just bizarre. So I wouldn't be scared. I would just be cautious, okay? Don't be scared, be cautious. And go towards somebody that your guides are pushing you towards, or pulling you towards. And but they're never going to tell you to go to that person. They're going to say, well, this person's good. We're leading you to this person, but it's up to you to go forth, because your guides can't make you do things. They can just give you options, okay? Kathy, yes, in some circumstances you can be a baby and be a walk-in, yes. You're welcome, Marlena. That's awesome, Nicole. Yeah, if they're using the radio to communicate, and we've had that happen here. We had a girl actually stand in the middle of the shop room and said, do you really think she just got a reading done with me, and she's like, you really think my mom's near? And our Alexa just stopped playing music and went off through the speaker and said, I am everywhere. And she just stood there and was like, what the fuck? She had chills. It was so funny. Her mom like basically answered her through Alexa. It was really cool. No, well, Kyla, I hope I'm not butchering your name. If it feels like you only have one guide, that's your main guide. I deal with Maria a lot. I know I have Victor and the other ones, Nafari. They always try to talk to me and I'm like, no. I have like this box. I'm like, Maria, because I'm so used to dealing with her. So, yeah. Sasquatch is in a different realm. You're going to see fairies in different realms, and you're going to start to see, as the veil's thinning, you're going to start seeing these things coming more and more into our environment, because you guys got to understand, let me see how I can do this. All our realms are blending. So if this is earth and this is fairy, and then let's say this one is Bigfoot or alien, we're all blending into like that linear, you know, dimension where we're all connected into this type of manner. Okay. Whew. Losing my glasses. Jessica, you can have as many guides as you want. Again, going back to the soul contract. Sally, your guides and angels are always with you. They never just say, hey, I'm going to go over here for a while you're doing this. Okay, they're always with you. If you're dealing with depression, try using a smoky quartz and use mugwort sage. Do some mugwort sage and drink your, let me double check on my website, thecrystalcovespa.com. If you go to crystals, the crystals tab, and then at the top it says there's a list of crystals that have toxins. The yellow word toxins, if you click it, will take you to a list of crystals that you do not want to place in water and drink, because you will get very sick. But I'm very sure that smoky quartz can be drank. So let me double check. My computer's really slow today. The shop is open. Well, typically we're closed on Monday in Moeva, but yeah, Yvonne has the shop open because we're here and we're doing things today. Lori Fleming, a lot of souls right now are leaving. They can't handle the high vibration, so you're going to see a lot of death around you. Some people might deal with a lot of death, others might not. But what's happening is we have a very high vibrational change, a very, the energy is shifting. We've got a lot of tornadoes, earthquakes, tsunamis. We just have a lot of things kicking it up because Earth is shaking it up and it's saying, I'm ready for a change. I can't take this anymore. It's like having depression and people piling more and more and more and more on you. That's what Earth is kind of going through, and you kind of have to like connect with her and feel what she's going through. She's tired, she's worn out, and she wants to change. She's had it. She wants to change things. So a lot of souls that are here that are learning, that are kind of lower vibration, that just aren't ready to handle what's coming, are getting ready to leave, and a lot of them have already left. Even actors and actresses are starting to leave, even famous people. So it's pretty much everyone who doesn't want to be here while this is happening. They're just not ready for it. And you're going to see a lot of this with suicides and overdoses. People that have the low energy really don't want to be here, and they just are trying anyway to get out. Okay, so if your loved one does commit suicide, don't be mad at them, don't be angry. Again, you have your free will attached to you at all times. God doesn't just suddenly take it from you in the middle of death, okay? He doesn't suddenly say, well, no, that's it, okay? He understands, of all people, he was here. He knows how hard it is. He's not going to just throw you into more negativity after dealing with so much negativity, okay? He's a loving God. You can't have a vengeful God and a loving God in the same, it doesn't work, okay? A divided house cannot stand, and that's in the Bible, okay? A house divided cannot stand. Hi, Marlena, I can see you. Jill, you can handle anything you want, Jill. You are a superstar, especially when it comes to your business. So just keep pushing through. And I don't know if you don't use crystals. I have to talk to you one-on-one with that, but use your crystals. Now is the time to use your crystals. More now than any time, because they're like your little assistants. And please don't dig dig soil and put your crystals in the ground, because would you want to be in the ground in the dark learning from soil? Okay, think about it. If there's a crystal you don't want in your house, or maybe a crystal broke, go put it in your flower bed. They can assist your flowers and your trees. So, make a little crystal buddy area for your crystals, okay? Thank you, Deanna. This is the Best Life feed. Thank you for sharing. You're welcome. Hi, Tina. You're welcome, Alton. I hope I'm not messing up your name. Okay, Linda, that's awesome. Okay, Bessie, on my webpage, thedivinemedium.com, there's a tab that says vlog. It's a video blog or a regular blog. It just depends if I'm going to do video or not. But there's a blog on there for empaths. Okay, you most likely are an empath, and I would read up on. It has everything in there, guys. Like what essential oils to use, what plants to use. I even give you like different ways to use your crystals in your bathtub, how to drink them, what angels to call on. There's so much in there. And there's even scientific backing as to what an empath is, and then there's different relationships, like if you're dating an empath, how to handle that. If you're not dating an empath, how to handle it. So it's packed full of information. It's on thedivinemedium.com, DIVINE, thedivinemedium.com. And you want to go to the vlog and then pick the empath blog to read. It's really long, so it might take you a while to read it. It's a couple chapters. Elizabeth, no, I'm not going to remember anything you told me, honest to God. So if you get a reading, and it might be a couple months till I get you in, I'm not going to remember any of this. With my car accident, my memory is shot, and that's why I have to write everything down. So if somebody comes into the shop, I write everything down. Oh, I'm dropping stuff here. Oop. I am dropping stuff. Okay. So yeah, I have books and books and books of these. This is almost every reading I've done here in the shop. So I write every reading down because, the reason I do this is, let's say, and I don't take last names, I just take first names and the date and what kind of reading. So if somebody calls in and says, I just had a reading, I just have one question, I'm not going to remember the reading. So instead of going over another hour of a reading, I can just skim and go and get the logistics of what was talked about, and then go, okay, what's your question? And then I know who to pull forth to get that question answered. So that makes it a little easier on me. Also, I tell people, you can tell Yvonne your name is Kermit the Frog. I don't care. We just need a name and a number in case I have to cancel or something happens and we have to reschedule. That's it. We don't take full names here. We take first names, and you don't even have to give a first name if you don't want to, okay? So that's it. And when you get an online reading, I don't know who you are. You have to inbox me. I can't inbox you because I don't know who you are. So if you have, and I try to remind people this, and the team tries to remind you of this, if you have an online reading, you have to inbox me. Because I don't know who you are up until the reading starts. Then I get your name, okay? So don't forget to inbox. Bobby, I would get the evaluation done. I don't willy-nilly say, oh, you're a psychic, oh, you're a medium. Okay, it's a 300 questionnaire. I don't go over all 300 questions. I basically go over what your guides want me to ask, and basically within about 5 to 10 minutes, I pretty much know what's going on with you. Okay, but I don't willy-nilly just start giving information. I don't work that way. Let's sit with your guides. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what they say, okay? I'm gonna go down. You guys got a lot of comments. Bye, Marlena. Joe, my wrists are lined with crystal bracelets, all kinds. Well, maybe that's your problem. Maybe you're mixing the wrong ones together. Maybe you should take a picture and send me. I'll tell you which ones to use. Well, Dee, I know I said I was going live this evening, but the more I'm doing these, and I just talked about this in the beginning of the live feed, I'm on third day of trying to get the shop taxes done. And again, a stack of this within a month of just shop receipts takes about 2 to 3 hours to get done. And it's taking forever, and we're not even towards the end of the month. I haven't even started on expenses. We've only hit August of the shop receipts, and it's insane. Plus I have all the invoices to do for the shop. So it's taking me a little bit longer to get things done. So yeah, I'm going live now because I'm not gonna have time later to do it tonight, because when me and Yvonne go to the house, I gotta get the taxes done again. So I have to get this stuff done. Oh, Sharon, thank you. Yeah, that blog really meant a lot to me, the Empath blog. I really tried to put my all into it, just so you guys got all the information in one area, so you're not having to search around here and there and there. It's all in one sitting. Oh, hi Marlena, thank you, honey. No, I won't be live tonight at 6, sorry. Gianna, Slate, absolutely. Safe travels. And you know what? Sometimes you just gotta go. You just gotta go somewhere else and learn some new things. So if you were at a place for a very long time and suddenly you find yourself on a new path, that is actually a blessing. That's actually a good thing, because a soul cannot learn in a state of confinement and stillness. It needs to go, go, go. It's got to. Do you guys remember, Jesus didn't stay in one area. He traveled, and yeah, those years are missing, and I'm able to kind of inform you guys on where and what he was doing. He wasn't in one place. He didn't feel like, you know, you had to be stuck to a house and taking care of a house and things like this. He traveled, he got to know people, he taught, he went everywhere. So when you go places, think of this as a blessing. You're actually learning and changing things up. Stacy Sims, I adore you too. Thank you, honey. You guys are funny. Okay, Teresa, good luck, honey. Come in and let us know how you're doing, okay, Teresa? Terry, I should say. I should shorten that. Gina Crane, crystals that clean and protect. Protection crystals are things of black tourmaline. You've got hematite. Tiger's eye is really good. Hematite's more grounding, but your more protection stones are going to be like tiger's eye, black tourmaline. Crystals that clean are your selenites. Selenite's really good. We have these selenite plates that are really neat that you can put your crystals on, and they cleanse your crystals while they're on there. You can even put your cards, like your oracle cards, on there. I know somebody asked me about, let me go back, because I was supposed to be answering questions from the Facebook. But I do remember getting a question about oracle cards and tarot cards and how to read them, because you get information from all different places. Now my deck is still being worked on. I will be getting, actually I have 2 decks getting worked on, and one is a tarot setup, because here's what I'm going to tell you guys. I know a lot of you, and I know I'm probably going to get backlash for this, but I know a lot of you love the tarot cards. But here's the thing. If you have a devil in your deck, you obviously are not communicating with the right communication. An angel, or not an angel, a spirit guide, that's who's giving you the answers, not the angels. But your spirit guide's not going to sit there knowing that energy's in that deck and communicate with you. You're going to get funky energy, and things aren't going to make sense, and maybe it might even come out really negative, okay? So you want to stay away from decks like this. Oracle cards are more positive. Your guides are always going to keep you in the mind frame of positive, because if you're in the constant mind frame of positive, what are you doing? You're pulling in positive. So if you have tons of negativity coming around you, it's going to continue because you're thinking it, you're pulling it in, so on and so forth, okay? Yes, Amanda Wilson, it's your spirit guides giving you the gut feelings, talking in your head, go this way, go that way. Yes, that's your guides. Okay. Dicey, oh God, I hope I'm not like butchering your name. Welcome to the live feed, honey. You do say you're a psychic medium. That's great. How do I put this? I've never had a reading from you, so I don't know how your readings are done, but I'm gonna kind of grow my more attention on what you're going through, because I'm seeing a lot of this with a lot of people, not just readers. And that's basically because the energy is so funky right now. A lot of readers are having a lot of hard times with reading. They're having a lot of hard time with sleeping, and then being overly tired, overly stressed, overwhelmed, like almost like they have too much on their plate, and they can't seem to get themselves balanced, okay? And that's the energy right now. So if you are going through this on a heightened scale, this just means that you're unbalanced. So my biggest thing to you would be to I would start trying to align your chakras, and I've been telling this to other readers that have come forth to ask me for some guidance on this. You can stick chakra crystals, like say for example your crown, you can use amethyst, which will actually also help you sleep. You can stick it in your pillowcase as well. But if you line these crystals, like you have your amethyst at the top, then right below it you have a clear quartz, and then right below that you have a blue lace agate, or maybe you have a turquoise, and you're lining these up in between your box spring and mattress, it'll align you while you're sleeping, okay? So you can try this method while you're sleeping. And then, during the day, just drink amethyst water. Keep a tumble. Do not do raw. I'm going to show you the difference between, and you probably know this already, but other readers might not. This is a tumbled, this is a raw. You do not want to stick this in your water. It will make you very sick. It has to be soft, smoothed out, and tumbled for you to drink it. But I would put an amethyst in water and drink that to kind of keep you well, healthy, mind, body, spirit, and keep you going through all of this, and keep black tourmaline on you to kind of push away negativity in one pocket, rose quartz in another. Now I do get a lot of questions like, oh, do I have to keep it in my receiving hand? I find this hysterical that somebody came up with this, because energy doesn't say, oh, I'm gonna just stay to the right of you or I'm gonna stay to the left of you. Energy goes wherever it wants to go. I think somebody just kind of conformed that, the body just, the soul stays here. It doesn't. Your soul's off. It's doing all this stuff. And energy with crystals is the same thing. You can't have a receiving area and an entering. I don't know how all that works, but I know for a fact energy doesn't say, oh, I'm going to confine myself into a bubble over here. Okay, it doesn't do that. So if you have a black tourmaline here or here, it doesn't matter. It's still going to help you. Okay? Nikki, if you're feeling lost and feeling different, I get this a lot. I'm going to kind of go over the list with you guys, and if you're feeling this way, I would get the eval done, and I'll be better able to help you understand if you're a walk-in, if you're a volunteer from wave, the first wave, second wave, or third wave, depending on your age. If you're a hybrid, a galactic worker, a light worker, it just depends. But basically, a few things will pop up. If you're a volunteer, if you're a first wave or second wave or third wave, you're gonna do things like this while you're sleeping. Hi. I'm sleeping. You're gonna hide and bury yourself. That's one thing you'll do. You will keep leftovers in your fridge. You won't, it's like a thing where you don't eat the leftovers, you just keep them in the fridge. You're constantly looking at the sky and you go to one specific spot at all times. Your feet are always cold. Trying to think what other, you are more drawn to either two spectrums. One, purple and blues, or the reds and oranges. You're either one or the other, and that actually helps me hone in on what part of the galaxy you're from, okay? Trying to think. Your weight fluctuates. You go up and down, fat, skinny, fat, skinny, fat, skinny. You can't seem to get a handle on, you indulge in food, you love food, but you won't eat leftovers. There's certain questions I will ask and I'll know exactly what direction to go into and, why you're doing certain things. So, the left-right thing makes me feel like, or reminds me of a battery. I love purple and blues. Nicole, what wave is this? Deanna, it just depends. It's not the wave, okay? The waves are, okay, basically, let me kind of go over the waves for all you new people. I know a lot of you guys that have been following for years. Oh my God, Jill, I love you. A lot of you newbies don't know what I'm talking about, so I'm just gonna kind of review it. I hope you guys that have been watching for a while just kind of sit back and go, yeah, I heard all this. Okay, so the waves. Okay, so your first wave came in right after the 1940s, big bombs went off. That energy was actually not supposed to be used against humanity. It was supposed to be used for humanity, and it was supposed to be pushed forward in time, and it got obtained somehow through energy that was not supposed to obtain it, and it started being used against humanity. So heaven is sitting there going, they're gonna kill themselves if we don't do something. So a beacon went out, any volunteers willing, any volunteers anywhere, any portal, any realm, anywhere, willing to go to Earth to assist them, come forth. But they wanted souls that didn't have karma attached. Karma just means that, karma basically is, you've had lives, you know how it is here. Somebody that's non-karmatic, that has no idea what they're doing, it's like throwing somebody into a surgery and going, okay, here. And you don't have any education, you're just standing there going, I don't know what to do. That's a non-karmatic soul. That's somebody that's never left heaven, never left God, never did lives, just stayed in heaven in their little heavenly bubble, and that was it. So first wave came through, okay? And that's when you start to see the peace, love hippies, okay? 1950s, 1960s, they started growing up in they came right around the 1950s, started growing up, 1960s, love, peace, harmony. That's the first wave, okay? Because they came directly from heaven, and that's all they knew was love, peace, calm down. Just calm down and smoke some weed. God gave us these plants, let's use them. Okay, so that's first wave. Then second wave. First wave, let me finish up first wave. So first wave, they didn't realize what they got themselves into. Like if somebody just threw you into a surgery and they were like, you have to get it done in 10 minutes, let's go, 10 minutes, let's go, 10, you would feel overwhelmed, crazy, and you just want to get out. That's how first wave feels, or felt, and they just wanted out. So you start seeing right around the 1970s, a high rate of suicides. You see a lot of souls leaving Earth. Then second wave came in. Second wave is karmatic souls. Now these karmatic souls don't normally get married. They don't normally have kids because they don't want to create any more karma. Now, if they do have kids and they don't get married, obviously that's what's happening, they will pull in the third wave. Now, second wave is the only ones that pull in the third wave. And the third wave is these high vibrational kids that are, woo, crazy. They're getting into crystals. You know, they're 2 years old playing Mozart. They're like 5 years old telling you how to do a grid with crystals, okay? These are third wave. You'll know when you see them because they're extremely above the knowledge that an adult would have. They come off very wisdomed. They're very wise. Sorry, Maria's correcting me. Sometimes I get in my head and I can't. I'm not thinking right. She said very wise. I'm like, okay, fine. That's the word. So they come off very wise, older in their years, almost like a 3-year-old is acting like an 80-year-old. Okay, that's the third wave, and they're very extremely smart. They're doing things that, you know, normally you wouldn't see with kids. This is the third wave. They're pulling us into this new dimension of love and healing and oneness is basically it. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, you know, how do I want to say this? The end of the world's coming, blah, 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 and Jesus is coming. Well, here's the thing, guys. How do you pull in Jesus? Do you think that he's just going to show up? Hi. No. Jesus is an energy. And what they're doing is they're pulling in Jesus consciousness energy. This is what they're doing. This is what they're supposed to be doing. And they're supposed to be high vibrational. So if you're putting them on pills and trying to get them to calm down because you can't handle it, we're not going to get anywhere. And that's basically dark trying to get them on medication so that they don't pull us into this. Dark will do whatever it can to keep light workers going, galactic workers going. They will pull them into the ground. They will make them feel worthless, that like they don't have gifts, that it's all in their head. Like they will do anything negative in your mind is dark, okay? Carol, yes. They started coming around the 1940s was the earlier versions of them, and then 1950s were the later versions of the first wave. They kept coming in through those years. Hi, Andrea. No, Rebecca, third wave is the last wave, but we do have the hybrids coming in, and they're not so much a wave, it's just a new DNA being formed so that they can assist the third wave children because they're children themselves, okay? A lot of these hybrids are children, or kids, older kids, like teens to 20s to 30s. The hybrids are right around this area. And they will attune to one angel, like Eden tunes to one angel, Metatron. And the reason she does this is because she comes from his bloodline, so she's going to be pulled towards his energy the most. Gina, that happens. First wave can give birth to a third wave. Norman, again, I addressed you in the beginning of the video. Please call the shop to get scheduled in. Kids born today, again, are still third wave. They're just how the first waves came a little earlier, then you have the second batch that came. Third wave's doing the same thing. They're doing first batch, second batch, third batch. They're just slowly coming in. A lot of people are drawn to Michael. It's in my book, Why a lot of people are drawn to Michael. When my book comes out, you'll understand a little bit more why that is, and it's probably going to be a shocker because nobody's ever heard this information before. But yeah. That's awesome, Sharon. Then you're part of that bloodline. And that bloodline is huge. Metatron has a lot of bloodline behind him, and so does a lot of the other angels. Okay, guys, let me just see if I can find these questions, and I don't want to miss anybody's. Okay, wait, let me see these ones real quick. Lynn, I can't really answer your question. Your question says, what do you probably see happening next year? I don't do the year by year until December and January, so I won't be able to see that until then. I can see it, but again, I don't want to jump ahead because those Those predictions can change. Remember, guys, your soul contract is mapped out on your hand. What you could have been doing as opposed to what you are doing, okay? And if you take a screenshot of your hands with your phone and 3 to 6 months later do it again, you're gonna notice these lines change, because every day you're making decisions that will change the outcome of your path. Your soul contract is a big buffet of stuff you wanted to do. No one can tell you you're gonna do this or do this. Yes, there's predictions, and I've done many predictions that have come true, and I do this yearly, but 5 years from now, you could be on a totally different path because you just suddenly one day switched your path, or you made a decision that made it switch, okay? You guys are focusing way too much on the 3 days. I get a lot of questions on this 3 day. The 3 days of night, it's not, I'm just gonna say, you guys, to be prepared, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen in this lifetime, okay? The candle that is to be used is a soy, non-scented cream candle that you can get simply off of Amazon. And I get a lot of people after I told that, and I'm kind of sitting back going, maybe I shouldn't have mentioned it, because you guys are really fixating on it way too much. And if you fix on it way too much, you're gonna actually make it happen, okay? And that's not why I told you. I got asked about it, I answered the question, and I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't have. So I'm not gonna talk anymore on it. This is what I'm being shown with the 3 days. You get the candle, you're fine. Just don't go outdoors when you start to see the darkness take over and you don't see any daylight the next day. Just stay indoors and you'll be fine, okay? That's pretty much it. Gina Scotty asks, how is Nefari? She's good. Does she still play a part in your life today? Yes, she does, very much. What's going to happen with the 3 days? Okay, so Kimberly again is asking the same question. Okay, I answered that earlier. Okay, I answered that one. Answered that one. Okay, I answered that one. Oh boy, I answered a lot of these. Okay, here's one. The high-pitched sound we hear sometimes, I've heard that's spirit trying to communicate. No, that's not spirit, that is your spirit guides communicating. Yes, Pamela, actually it's a soy beeswax candle that is what I meant to say. I'm sorry. Yes, that's my bad. Yvonne, that usually is fairy. So for some reason you are doing something to pull that realm in right now. Johanna, galactic beings and hybrids. We cannot drink milk or ice cream or where you are on the toilet, and that's where you'll find me most of the time, because I am addicted to dairy. I don't know why. But we're very drawn to dairy, even though we're not allowed having it, and it's chaotic on the body. Okay. Sarah, yes, I do this a lot on live feed. If you just go to the YouTube channel, The Divine Medium, you can watch live feeds all the time, me doing readings. Yeah, Sharon, she allowed me to talk about it, but she didn't want people to obsess over it. There's a difference between understanding knowledge and then obsessing over it to the point where it's consuming all your thoughts. That's not why information's being put out. You absorb the energy, take it in, and then you release it and let it go. Okay, Bonnie, if you're hearing a lot of ringing and whooshing, and you're going to start hearing it in this week into next week, really high pitch, like all of a sudden maybe you're in your car, you shut your car off and you're like, wow, like that's really loud, and like it's like deafening, like almost like the space in the room kind of gets really clouded and claustrophobic and you hear that high pitch, that's your guides kind of surrounding you, because they're going to get you some information through dream, through your mind. And if they're doing the high pitch, you just ask them, hey, can you clear out the space and just talk to me here? I'll get the information. But you have to pay attention, okay? You have to pay attention to what they're saying to you here, okay? Let it go, let it go. Oh my gosh, I know Jill, right? Jill, are you doing the show tomorrow? Are we doing the show tomorrow, or do you want to push it to like Thursday? Just let me know. Melcha, that's hysterical. That's definitely a sign. Birds don't normally do that. And actually Maria comes to me as a bird, and just very funny things that she does with the birds. It cracks me up. Sarah, I would suggest calling the shop and getting scheduled in. The number is on this post. If you go out of the live feed, you'll see all the information on the post, okay? Oh, awesome, Gianna. Is it Gianna? I hope I'm not butchering your name. Yeah, I did mention the 3 days of darkness, and you know, this is mainly alien activity coming to Earth. That's when they will introduce themselves. But a lot of lower energy, again, is not going to be able to handle it, and it's going to become very chaotic, rioting, just really bad stuff happening. But if you're in your house and you're safe in your heart, you're fine. You're being protected. And the candle is a sign that you're being protected, because galactic energy is so far beyond our own energy here. They can do whatever they want with their energy, even if that means keeping a candle lit for 3 days straight without it melting down. Okay, do you see where I'm going with this? So if the candle is lit and it's not melting, they're showing you everything's fine. Stay in your house till this ends, okay? So the 3 days of darkness, I don't want to say if it's going to happen in this lifetime, because I want people to not fixate on it so much. Just, if it happens, it happens. Get the candles. They're on Amazon. Soy-based beeswax, okay? Cream candle, and or white. And just stay calm. Don't fixate so much on it, okay? Sarah, if you're seeing a specific number, just go on Google and put in, and it's so stupid, but you have to put angelic number 17, when really it's not your angels giving you the message, it's your spirit guides. Again, this is where miscommunication happens in our environment, where it's being downloaded, somebody takes it to a whole different level. It's really spirit guides giving the message, not angels. But as you're reading it, think of your spirit guides, not your angels giving you the message. But it's just simply looking that number up. I don't sell the candles. You can simply find them on Amazon. We don't really, I mean, I make candles, but not to the extent of that where it's mass produced, because a lot of people will want that candle and I don't have time with the TV show and the spa and the crystal shop next door and Invoices and everything else. I don't have time. I'm sorry, guys. So Amazon, you got it. Nancy, if you want to inbox me, we are doing a project with gifted kids. So if you want to be a part of that, let me know how old she is, and then we can get you in the right direction with that project. I would suggest Jeanette. I would suggest getting a reading done, and I can connect one-on-one with her and see what she wants to speak about on that matter. Hey, Cheryl. Okay. Oh, did my computer just died, so I can't even answer those questions. Okay, here's what I'll do. My computer died, so I'm gonna answer those questions probably not today or tomorrow. Later this week, I'll just get to those questions that I didn't get to answer here, but I've mainly covered most of them, so you guys are good. But mainly, I just wanted to answer the questions that we posted about. I usually do a post right before going live if anybody has questions. You just don't want to do personal questions because that's more of a reading, that's one-on-one, that's personal. And I don't normally do those on the live unless we have somebody like Dale from the other night who was very persistent and wanted to talk to his family. Sometimes that happens when I go live, but normally I don't just pull your loved ones in and do readings, okay? On occasion I might, but no, it's not something we do here, because to me that's sacred. You have a loved one that you want to connect to, that's a one-on-one. Let's get more intimate, let's figure out the details, and that's more of an hour. Your loved ones, you want to give them time to have conversation with you. You don't want to willy-nilly and have 10 minutes on a live feed, not even 10 minutes, maybe 3 minutes on a live feed with them, okay? You know what I'm saying? So I want to be respectful to your loved one, give them time to speak to you, and that's going to be like an hour and a half, okay? But that's it, guys. If you guys have any other questions, just post it on the Divine Medium page, or go to the Divine Medium fan page. You can go to that one and post, or just right here on my personal page, you can post anything you want. There's the Crystal Cove, the Divine Medium Crystal Cove, where you guys can go into that page and discuss crystals, or go to the Crystal Cove Spa page. I have a lot of pages. And you can inbox anything about the shop or post anything about the shop, okay? But yeah, guys, check out I'm going to be posting a lot of new items that just got into the shop. So if you guys are new to the shop, go to the shop website, the Crystal Cove, it's crystalcovespa.com, and check out the items. But there's gonna be a ton of new ones going up. Jill, let me know what day you want to do the live, if you want to do it tomorrow or if you want to push it. Crystal Cove is mine, yes. I own the Crystal Cove shop, which is the crystals, and the Crystal Cove Spa, where we do the chakra light bed, and we have sound therapy. I don't know if you guys can see over here. I know it's gonna be, this is all the shopping spree items, but this is the singing bowl section where we do sound therapy. But yeah, you can see how many invoices I gotta get done, guys. It's insane. And not only that, I have 2 baskets down here I gotta get done. So obviously, if you didn't get an invoice, it's because you didn't get an invoice. We are still working on them, so give us a little bit more time. Okay? So I hope you guys had a lot of fun with the live feed today, and I hope to see you guys real soon. Okay, guys, love you.